In this video, I want to take a deeper dive into the Owl House Season 3 as a whole. What worked and what didn't. So let's get started. Now, if you're a big fan of the Owl House, you know the ending of Season 2, Luz and her friends were thrown into her world. It was raining. They didn't seem too scared of the rain, and Luz finally got to see her mom after all these months. However, a few minutes later, we see a montage of what's going on. And the thing that didn't make any sense whatsoever is when Amity is putting her hand out, trying to see if the rain is going to harm her. And obviously it's not. But I have no idea why they were even checking to begin with, because a few minutes later, we just saw that they walked in the rain. Again, that doesn't make any sense, but let's go with it. Episode 1 of Season 3 is called Thanks to Them, and it's also a Halloween episode. We get to dive deeper into the lore and the history of the two brothers. That I loved about this. But another thing that didn't make any sense to me was at the very end of Season 2, the Collector flicked at Bellows and smashed him against the wall. All that was left of him was a bunch of muck. Okay, did he kill Bellows? Obviously not, because one little drop of something landed on Hunter, and then must have fell off or something when it went through the portal. But that one little piece of goop landed on Hunter's finger, and then, what, he possessed him again? Can somebody please explain to me how the powers of Bellows works? If he's smashed against the wall, but he's not dead and he's just a bunch of goop, he needs another body. So he spends most of the second episode, for the future, looking for a new body. And he finds that body in rain. Now, I love finding out all the history about how King's powers can, cancel out the Collector's powers. But of course they use that typical trope of the Collector spying on King, but only for a little bit. Just enough to get the bad information. That's ridiculous. Luz's staff is a shapeshifter. That's awesome. I love that. However, in episode 3, watching and dreaming, the powers of her staff are rarely used, except for flying. But it does turn into something that stings the tongue of the Collector, but other than that, he doesn't turn into anything else. And one thing that really bugged me the most about this particular episode is when the Collector said, "My powers don't work on King because he's a Titan." A few seconds later, his powers were working on King. He was giving him a bad dream. Those are his powers. But you just said,
"My powers don't work on King because he's a Titan."
Again, that doesn't make any sense. And another thing that kind of bugged me a little bit was that when Luz died and turned into light, the Collector finally realized and learned a lesson. This is death. You're not coming back. Well, unless a Titan gives you magic and then you're back to life. After all, it's a Disney show. Nobody dies, really. Lessons not really learned, I guess? Or is it learned? I love the callbacks to the first episode.
Now eat this, sucker! Now eat this, sucker!
That was pretty cool, and I love the battle that went on, and I love the artwork and the animation. That was fantastic, especially with the last episode. But another thing that didn't make any sense was when Luz was just standing there, and Bellows turned into Philip. Wait a minute. He's looking for a body, but he turned back into Philip. Somebody, please tell me how this guy's powers work. Does he need a body or not? But it's never been confirmed, but I think everybody has a collective thought that Luz, with the Titan's power, made it rain deliberately. Because after all, it just rained for a few minutes. But now I have a problem again. Remember when the Collector smashed Bellows against the wall and there was nothing left of him? Oh, except for one small goop that went onto Hunter? Well, now Rain, King, and Ida are stepping on Bellows. And what does King say? Ew, it's on my feet. So is Bellows still around or is he dead? Because he survived that first time smashing into a wall. Listen, in all honesty, I love this show. The ending was really good. But there are too many unanswered questions. And honestly, most of these unanswered questions would have probably been solved if we had a longer season of Season 3. They had to condense what they could. I mean, the last 5 to 10 minutes, only Luz talked. All these other characters didn't say a word. She's explaining everything. Is that budget constraints? Again, I still love the ending. It's good. I've watched it like 3 or 4 times already. But for me, just my opinion, I think Amphibia's last episode was a lot better. Again, I still love the last episode of the Owl House. I'm still gonna watch it over and over again. But I just think Amphibia's episode was better. That's all. So, what do you think of the last 3 episodes, Season 3 of the Owl House? Comment below the video and let me hear from you.